Welcome to Freeform Radio on the Freeform Network. You can follow us on Facebook at Freeform Network and Twitter, we're FFR Podcast. Don't forget to send your questions and suggestions to ffnquestions@gmail.com. There you can hit us up, reviews, comments, ideas, let us know. So we're all here. Well, we're not all here. We got Danny today.
Yes, sir, man. It's chilly outside. I don't know if you've been outside, Andy, but it's
Yeah.
a little breezy. It's raining, so it definitely feels like fall now.
Yeah, it's definitely fall. It's windy, rainy. We had the leaves raked here at the house on Friday, and they're full of leaves again. So it's definitely fall. Weather's here. We're missing Noel this week, so we'll follow up with them next time. And it's all good, Andy. I'm here ready to talk your ears off. So let's just jump right into it, man. Looks like Danny was binge watching some movies. It looks like you watch Kraven. That's part of the Spider-Man universe, I believe. What's going on with that?
Yeah, I watched this one a little bit ago. We were looking for something to watch, and I've been meaning to watch this one along with that other one. I forget what it's called, Madam Spider, something like that.
I don't
That
remember that one.
No, that was another one that's in the Spider-Man universe, but it's like vaguely anything to do with Spider-Man. It was following like these four chicks, and they were all like linked somehow because one of them was psychic. But anyway, that one was called like Madam Spiderweb or Madam Web or something like that. I was curious to see that one, but that one really got roasted that it was really bad and it did not do
Does
well.
sound bad.
Yeah. But this one, Craven, it looks okay, but also kind of fell in line with not being the greatest, Spider-Man adjacent movie. And at the box office kind of shows it. The budget was about 100 and change, 110, and it only made like 62 million so far. Um, and I could kind of see it. I could kind of see it. Good premise. I think the character is really cool. The character plays a big part in Spider-Man 2, the video game, the Kraven character. But in the movie, I think Kraven, as far as a Superman bad guy, I think he holds his own against Spider-Man. He's like a superpowered, jacked up hunter
Hmm.
who hunts in Africa and, like in the plains and stuff like that, beating up lions with his bare hands and stuff like that. So I was really excited to see this when it was first announced. Then the reviews came out and it wasn't that great, but I was still kind of interested in seeing and checking it out. But yeah, I do kind of see why it did not do well. It seems like if I had to take a guess, it's the editing was a big part. Maybe I would not put it past it that they had a director halfway of the way and then they lose them and then they got another one. I don't know if that's the case, but that's the feeling that I got from this movie. It's very disjointed. It does not follow a nice flow. Um, some nice scenes put together, but it seems like it's almost like cut and paste a bunch of stuff together. So I could definitely see how people did not like this one. Are you familiar with the character, or did you even know that this movie came out?
I remember the movie coming out. I know the character. Um, and like I don't know. I know of him. I know he had that badass jacket. And he was like jacked up, and it's like a
Right.
big game hunter or something. But yeah, I don't know. I remember the movie came out, didn't do good because it's Sony or they were doing it with Marvel or part of the Spider-Verse. And that's how you got like the Venom movie and all this other stuff. And I think I remember they're trying to release another uh, batch of another movie with like I forget, but they were trying to make it with like within their own Spider-Verse, and I know Marvel wasn't too happy about it, but Yeah, so that's all I know of it. I haven't really even watched the Venom movies. Um, I don't know. I just like I'm kind of Spider-Man. I'm kind of superheroed out. So
Yeah,
yeah, I haven't really watched a lot of the new stuff in a while.
no, yeah, I could feel that because it there are a lot of people that are in that kind of superheroed out, too many superhero movies. I know Marvel, while they were gearing up for the Infinity Gauntlet stuff, it started wearing people down. And yeah, I could I could understand that for sure. But yeah, man, just to wrap up Craven, cool character. I think even the actor that plays him, I'm not familiar with him, this Aaron Tyler Johnson, but he played him well. I thought the character looked cool, and it was portrayed well on the film. It just needs a better story and a better director, and I think this can probably be a good part two for a follow-up. But yeah, Sony, they have to keep pumping these things out in order to keep the Spider-Man license to instead of letting it revert back to Marvel. Because right now, Sony Pictures has the exclusive rights to make these movies. So, and like you said, they're trying to make some kind of like a shared universe with Marvel, but then their own as well, like a Spider-Man universe. They had the Morpheus movie come out not too long ago. That one did half decent. This one's probably a step below that. I did watch Morpheus a few years ago, and that one was okay, if not like borderline good. This one, yeah, was a little slightly less. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna watch that other Madam Spiderweb, whatever. But I am curious, just so I could say that I've seen all the Spider-Man, Spider-Verse, multiverse movies, but that one looks even rougher than this one was for sure. So we'll have to see if I'm that bored. But like you mentioned, Andy, I did watch a few movies. Right now, I'm on like a kind of like a horror kick with Halloween around the corner. So I rewatched Saw Part One. This one I saw many years ago when it first came out. Really cool premise with this whole whodunit mystery, watching these characters get put into situations where you have to make decisions to try to get yourself out of a trap or one of those like lock rooms and stuff like that. Have you seen any of these, Andy? Do these even appeal to you, these Saw franchise? Because I know there's like 10 or 12 of them now.
No, I mean I watched clips, but I never saw. I think any full movie ever. I think one of my sisters was into it for a while. I think it was Lily, but no, I never watched them. I have no interest. I mean, I have specific when I watch any type of horror movies, I get some like weird things to make me want to check it out, and saw it. It didn't have it. I mean, I know, yeah, like I think there's like 10 of them. You're right. It's like a big franchise. They're cranking them out for a while.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it comes out by that Twisted Pictures
Hmm.
production team with Lionsgate. And yeah, this one made gangbuster money, man. This one, unlike the Craven, its budget was just slightly over $1 million, and it made 104 million at the box office. So this, like we mentioned, spun off a huge franchise. This one follows the Jigsaw Killer, and like I said, he puts people into various traps. The other cool part about this first one is that Danny Glover's actually in it. So
Hmm.
every now and then, a big character shows up in the Saw franchise. In part two, the brother of Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, that guy, his brother shows up in part two. So yeah, every now and then you get like these big actors that show up
It
into the Saw franchise.
I was like there was a run of movies in like the early 2000s up to like the 2010s where they were just cranking them out. They were made real cheap and they made a ton of money, like Paranormal Activity. I remember my sister got into those. I remember going to the theater to watch those.
Right.
And then the other one was like
I know
uh
there's Blair Witch
the
Project.
Blair Witch,
Right.
but the other one was like man the I don't know if I consider it kind of horror, The Purge. Hell,
Okay.
I think they even made a TV show off of that. I mean, there was like, I think there's like four of them now. The first one was pretty cool. I never watched the second one. I think they made like two more, and then I think they made a TV show. It just got like, I think I watched part of the second one. It got really weird, and then I'm like, I'm done with this because the first one I had was like really interesting, and then they're like, oh, people are just watching it because they want to see people get fucked up, and just went from there.
Yeah, it does have definitely that sense where that like murder porn vibe to it where you could definitely get hooked in that sense. I think what kind of calls me is the whodunit mystery portion of it because these movies in this franchise have a lot of whodunit and the riddle and trying to figure it out. Some of it are word riddles, some of them are puzzles that you have to solve to get out of whatever certain trap or to
Hmm.
get the key or to get the combination or whatever it is. And some of them are just grotesque and physical abuse to try to get to the exit. So yeah, this one I think kind of speaks to me in that sense. So I always dug it ever since the first one, and I saw, that the killer was actually this guy that was there, and you didn't realize that he was the killer because he was acting as a victim as well, and then this and that, and it's just like all these like spinneroonie, twisteroo stuff where you just don't see it until the very end. So
He was
it
like,
always
oh shit.
yeah, I mean, it just always called my attention. I don't think I've seen them all because, like you said, Andy, it starts getting really repetitive, and some of them just become shock horror, just trying to one up the last movie. So it definitely starts waning. But yeah, these first ones were very unique for its time, and I think it really caught an audience, especially for how much it made over 100 million in profit. So there was definitely an audience for it. Um, and yeah, it's staying in kind of the horror, suspense, thriller kind of vibe. Rewatched Signs, that M. Night Shyamalan movie. I know I've probably talked about this one in the past because I usually watch it like every other year or so. But this one we just recently rewatched because we had watched it with Junior when he was younger, but he could not get through it. We got like halfway through the movie, and then he's just like, I don't want to watch this anymore. It's too scary. He was probably like maybe 10, something like that. So we stopped watching it, and yeah, just recently we're like, yeah, let's rewatch this and see if we can get through the whole movie. So yeah, we watched it. Um, this one is very cool, at least to me, because it has a lot of multiple things that I'm interested in. It's got the sci-fi aspect of it, the UFO aspect of it. It has religion in the movie. Um, I like Mel Gibson. I think he's a good actor. Maybe not the best guy because he's done some questionable things in his life, but he's a great actor.
You're like,
And
fuck him.
well, I mean, I can't speak for everything that he's done in his life, but for sure, I know he's done some questionable things, and I'm just like, come on, Mel, you're a little better than this. But yeah, I think he's a good actor. Joaquin Phoenix is also another great actor, and he does a great job in this movie. But yeah, man, I love the twist at the end where religion plays a big part of this movie, and the twist at the very end that kind of reveals the bigger picture. And I think it's really awesome, well put together. The alien parts is really interesting as well. Have you seen this one, Andy? I can't remember if you have or not.
Yeah, a long time ago, and I don't know you liked it that much. I didn't really find it that memorable.
Uh-huh.
Um, but it was okay. I mean, I don't remember too much about it. That's why I'm like, like I I just remember the girl or something said they're coming, and then like they're like in their basement or something. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I I could see how maybe people don't like it. It is shot in a unique way, I think. Um it's kind of shot in a Shyamalan way. So if you don't really care for him, and I know a lot of people that don't care for his movies, but I gotta say maybe out of the six movies that he's made, I've liked four of them, let's say. So I think he's more of a hit for me than a miss, but I could definitely see how some people are not called to movies like this. I mean, it did great. I mean, I'm just looking at their wiki right now. The budget was 72 million, made 408. So definitely made some good money for them. Um, but yeah, man, I think if you watch it in retrospect, Andy, I mean, I think it has, like I said, a really cool uh, spin with aliens, and a big portion is the religion because the main character that Mel Gibson plays, he is a former pastor at the start of the movie, and then he goes through this experience, and at the end, he kind of questions his religion, and religion plays a big part of it. So I think it's really interesting to kind of see the movie progress and kind of see his evolution of his character, which you could definitely see. Even some of the sub characters, like I mentioned, like Joaquin Phoenix, see the way his character develops to try to help the family dynamic that's going on between Mel Gibson, who's the father, Joaquin Phoenix, which is his younger brother, and then Mel Gibson's two younger kids. So yeah, it's a really cool family dynamic, and I think it's just very interesting. You should probably definitely give it a rewatch, Andy. I'm not sure you're gonna love it the way I do, but I think you'll definitely probably go grow a bigger appreciation for it and something definitely that you would um like. I mean, do you like typically Shyamalan movies?
I like the un Unbreakable, and I like
Right.
the one where they're in the woods. I can't even think of the name
Village.
of that. Which one? Yeah, I think you said Village, then the Village, and that's the movie I recall where they're like families in the woods and all that. And I think that one was pretty decent for M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, for sure. That one I really dug as well. The Village, where it showed that community. They got raised in the forest and they were living like Amish type of living, and then the world was going on. So that was a really interesting one as well. But yeah, and Shyamalan, I think for the most part he hits and does good movies, and I think Signs is one of those. You should really give it a rewatch, Andy, and check it out.
We'll
But
see.
uh, but yeah, man, I think that's enough for my week, Andy. Like I mentioned, definitely full of some watching movies, and probably continue it with Halloween around the corner. Probably watch a few more horror movies or so. We'll check them out. But Andy, let's jump over to your week. Chicago suburb police arrested for not being a U.S. citizen. I did see this on the news. Fill us in on the details, man.
I mean, it was like, we're here in Chicagoland. A lot of people are upset about the ICE raids, I mean, as you should. But what's interesting is um, this police one really caught my attention because at one time I did want to be a police officer, and um, I remember explicitly you had to be a U.S. citizen. And before the show today, I jumped on there to confirm that. Yeah, in Illinois, you have to be a U.S. citizen. So I don't know how this guy became a police officer. The ICE is claiming that he overstayed his visa from like 2005 or 2015. I think it was 2005, and he took his test, he passed everything, he passed his background. So uh, this is really intriguing to me because how stuff like this gets by through the system. Also in Iowa, there was I believe, a superintendent. for a school, one of the school districts out there. This guy was making good money. He was here illegally, allegedly, allegedly, and the other guy too. Um, he got arrested, but he got arrested for other stuff in the past, and the school district was like, I think he was from Ghana, I believe. Don't hold me to that. And they arrested him too. So stuff like this that gets through these high caliber, high pro, value jobs and positions within the government. Like, how does this happen? So, and they all claim they went through the proper background. They go through third parties and all this other stuff. So I find this all interesting when you apply or you try to get a government job, what exactly the process is. Because if this is going in police officers, school districts, I'm pretty sure this is going on through like every municipality, every state job down to the federal government. Like, what's going on? Like, how can this happen? Because you're supposed to have checks and balances that's supposed to weed these people out, and to hire them. Like, and now he got hired and all this stuff. So I think he's on paid leave right now. So what's gonna happen? Like, is he? That's what I can't really Figure out like what is he gonna have to resign, or like are they gonna tell him you got a certain amount of time to be a citizen? Like what or he's gonna get deported? What That's what's funny. Like they didn't deport him right away. I think he's walking around. I believe I saw him give an interview or something, or he was talking. Um, I don't know. I just find it very strange. I mean, have you? It's here, like in a town that's close to where I live. I think it's like two towns over, so it's not that far from here. So I just don't know what's going on with that. I just find it very strange how stuff like this falls through the crack. And imagine like if you really start going through everybody's government jobs and municipalities and all that. How many of these people are here uh, overstate, or they're not U.S. citizens, or they can't work here?
Yeah, for sure, man. When I saw this, the first thing that ran across my head was, yeah, that he was probably on a visa that expired and nobody ever checked it afterwards. Either that, or I know of a lot of situations where you start off by working like dispatch or some lower level position in the police station. And then slowly, because you've worked there for so many years, you get opportunities to move up. And maybe at that point, it wasn't known that maybe he wasn't a U.S. citizen, that his visa had expired. Started off in dispatch, then started going on ride alongs, then assisting for traffic, then assisting. And then before you knew it, he's probably a patrol guy, and now he's a full blown police officer. So I could definitely see stuff like that happening. But yeah, man, yeah, with all the ice raids, it just happened just down the block from my house. I live maybe like 6 blocks or so away from a car wash at the end of the main road that you have to come down to get to my neighborhood. And there's a car wash there, and you see them all the time. There's like these Latino younger kids as well, drying off the cars from the cars that are coming out of the car wash. And yeah, they raided there on Friday, and they also raided a landscaping place right next to Tractor Supply. There's a landscaping company there, and they went and raided them as well. So yeah, ICE is out in full blown. Um, it's funny you bring this up because we had a family party that we went to on Saturday for one of my nephew's birthdays, and while we're sitting there, all the adults and the kids are playing. We started talking, and the conversation went to ICE and went to some of the protests. And yeah, man, it got a little heated. Um,
Damn.
heated maybe is an overstatement, but it got more to where just like how me and you were talking, it got elevated a little bit. nothing where anybody was getting disrespectful. So that was the good part, is that there was conversation going back and forth, but it just shows how polarizing the aspects of everybody's views are. Even people that are in my direct family and they have a different perspective than myself. But it was good to kind of put it out there and kind of discuss it. But it is definitely very polarizing. It's still happening. I don't know if they're having protests today, but there was a big protest yesterday, uh, um, along with uh, arguments against ICE and just arguments against what President Trump is doing. So, yeah, right now there's a lot of polarizing conversation going on back and forth. But I think ICE at the end is doing what the federal government is mandating them to do, and they're trying to do the best job they can in the situation that they're in.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a polarizing issue. Yeah, just going back to like I said, it's some of this stuff is system failures, and like the reason all this is going on is because what happened in the last presidency with the open border, basically, my opinion. And now this is what kind of what big chunks of the American population wanted. But you know, we'll see. The police officer getting hired, I don't know. The superintendent getting hired. There's another one I think floating around too in the East Coast somewhere. Some type of teacher or something or superintendent. Like one of the higher ups principal was here, overstayed their visa or something. And it's just crazy, man. Like here, there was stuff where I live, the neighboring town that allegedly the ice was in the by the schools and all this, and this caused this the community to go nuts. People were nervous. The school districts came out and said that they weren't there, but people still insist on the community pages that they were there, and people were posting pictures. So it's and then even the school, the city posted something that they did confirm that ICE was in City Hall. I think that's
Right.
what they said, and they said that yeah, they were there, but they didn't have no knowledge or anything. So I don't know. It's getting pretty dicey.
Yeah, it's
Now you're talking about kids and stuff and parents, so it's scary.
yeah, it's funny you said that. It reminded me of an email that I got last week, and yeah, it was from the school, and it says something to the fact of we are aware of recent reports of immigration enforcement activity in our area today. There is no direct interaction with the school. Our school will continue operating as normal schedules or on a normal
Yeah,
schedule. So yeah, it is a little scary, and I'm sure people were concerned that kids were going to get start rounding up, but I don't think it would get to that
no,
severity. I
that they
think
were gonna yeah round up parents, and then there was
parents,
people
yeah,
floating that you had to get to get your kid, you had to get like you had to bring your IDs. It was getting like weird, and then there's people posting on the community page on Facebook saying that they would go pick up your kids on your behalf. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, who? I wouldn't let nobody go pick up my kid if I don't know them. I know they mean well, but like this to me was like kind of weird. And um, yeah, it was just very strange, man. And it was just weird. And yeah, it was people were like freaking out, and I don't blame them. But I don't think we went through this much bullshit ever. I mean, besides a bomb scare, but in our high school. But who's gonna? Yeah, we were we just took off, and nobody. They just told us leave, and then I think the high school too by where my old neighborhood, where I'm sorry, where out here where I used to live before I moved. Supposedly there was stuff going on there too with ice, and the high school came out and put a notice like that has nothing to do with us, and they're not here, or we're not part of anything, and the usual PC stuff that they say. So yeah, let us know, man. A lot of people, I know my mom's super kind of paranoid, and my wife is paranoid. Um, uh, but
Are they
it's
giving
rough, man.
rewards? Are they giving rewards, man? Because I know quite a few people that I could help them out with,
I
man.
think there is if you turn them in.
Really?
What's
Huh.
funny is people are complaining that ICE has commercials on like Univision and Telemundo and on the radio. Did you hear that?
No.
And people are like, don't fucking support them. They're taking money from ICE and this shit. And that was the
Damn.
thing that was trending on Friday or Saturday. And I'm like, oh my God. Because it was
Shit.
funny during football, you see those ICE commercials. They're trying to tell Chicago PD to join them.
Right, right,
Like,
like
oh yeah, we'll
recruiting.
give you sign-on bonus and immediately and all this. And I'm just like, well, that's interesting. So uh,
Do you
I was
got your
joking with my
papers
wife, you
handy?
think I should join ICE? And she was like, no. Like $50,000 sign-on bonus. She's like, no, you have a good job.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I gotta say, maybe if I didn't have a good job and maybe I was like 15 years younger, I would, a federal job. I, I mean, it might be a little dangerous right now because right now it's really dangerous to be
They
in
dox
law
you and all that.
enforcement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it'd be kind of rough, but yeah, man. I mean, who doesn't want a government pension? It'd definitely be a good thing to do. Well, maybe just not right now, especially with the government shutdown. I don't know if everybody's getting paid right now.
I think they are. That's why they're still rounding up illegals. So there's something's going on. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. We'll stay on top of it. I know everybody's impacted differently, but this just shit that's going on in America right now. But let me lighten it up, man. I don't know. There's a ton of Law and Orders and all this shit. I only like the one Law and Order. That was the original. I don't know if you ever got into it then.
No, man, I like watching good TV shows.
Yeah, it is a good TV show. That's why it's been on for like 20 plus seasons. Uh, like NYPD Blue. I like a good cop show. And Law and Order, I know there's SUV, criminal intent. There's all this bullshit law, judge, jury, and there's a fucking ton of them. LA. The only one I've ever liked is the original. And the original, I think, lasted 21 years. It was pretty good. It was always on reruns on cable. I would come home and they would have it was always on. I just turn the TV on, put it on TNT or some other shit, and it was always on. And I would watch a couple hour, 2 episodes because they're an hour long episodes, and it was just really good. And it was always on. And then the show ended. Um, I think after season 21. And then, so it was always on reruns, whatever. And then I think 2 years ago, I saw something that they were bringing it back and it was going to be on Peacock, if I remember correctly. And they did bring it back, and it's on, I think this is their third season since they've been back. And I started watching them the last week or two, and I gotta say the season is the season where they came back. I think it's 22. Man, it was pretty fucking good. It only had 13 episodes, which is really good because normally those old shows would have like 22 or 23 episodes. That's because it's an old show. Um, and it was very great, very good topics. The detectives were okay. The prosecution. They even brought back Jack McCoy, this old time DA. He was in the early episodes, and he left. He retired, and then so it was really good. They brought him back. They had ones about AI and woke stuff and stuff that it's always like ripped from the headlines shows. They had a new commander in the detectives, lieutenant. and everything was going good, right? So I finished season 22. I'm like, great, man, this is good. I want to see what happens. First episode on the new season 23, the the commander of the detectives, the lieutenant, she left. She was just in part of the show that had a new one. I'm like, what's all this about, right? So I like Googled it. So the actor was Cameron Manheim. She left the show. She wanted more money, and they said no. And then she's like, "Well, my character's not that important. You guys don't really feature her," which was funny because towards the end of the season, they came back. They did this whole episode around her and her family, which I found weird. I'm like, "Huh, what's this about?" And then you hear why she left because she's like, "I want more money," and they said no. And they're like, "I want to be a more important character in the show," and they said like, "Eh." So she left the show, and then they brought in this other woman. So I'm like, oh man, just when I was getting used to her, they bring in this other woman, and she's super bossy, and she's not the best. But so I'm there, and I think I've been telling everybody like I highly recommend the show. I mean, if you were into Law and Order, or you just like good cop shows with, I like it because it's the first half's the police, and then the second half's like the justice system, and the needs always have a little bit of like a little political statement or a thing of like keeps you intrigued or interested.
Really? So I didn't know that about this show. So it shows the cops going after the bad guys, and then it shows the court proceedings
So the
to get
first
that person
usually,
guilty. So it's like, is
yeah,
that why it's called Law and Order?
yeah. So the first half of the show, the first like usually 2 or 3 minutes, you see the crime as it happens, and then you see the cops show up, and then the cops try to figure out who did it. Then they arrest them. And then the second half of the show, you see the arraignment where they're like, we want bail, or then they go straight to the court. And it's kind of rushed. And then you see the DA, they're trying to figure out, and stuff happens, and then evidence. And then they go that, and then you see the at the end, you see like the DA's like, oh, cut a deal with them, or figure this out, or I'm gonna drop the charges. And then you go from there, and that's how it goes, and everything gets wrapped up in that hour. So that's what I like about it.
Cool. Do they ever have longer than an hour episode, like a three show, bridge thing?
Nah, man, that I'm trying to rethink on even on the old shows.
Right.
No, it's always they wrap it up. They have a lot of
They can solve all the
guest
world's problems in
stars.
an hour.
Yeah, guest stars, and then they have officers come and go. Like there are some seasons. Lenny was the original cop. Um, he was there for a long time, and then when he passed away or left, they brought in Dennis Farina. He was good in it, and then you even see they had Chris from Sopranos in there for a couple episodes to help him when he was a cop, and then they brought in. They had a lot of people, man. It was a lot. That show was on forever, so then you saw different prosecutors and all this would come and go, different BAs, and like assessed again, this stuff's been on since the 90s, almost like late early 2000s. So it had a big rotating cast. And it's always held up. I was like, I don't know if they're gonna bring it back. And I saw the first episode, like, oh man, they did a really good job and they updated it pretty well. So like one of the episodes on the first season when they came back was about AI, and it was really good. That episode, I remember it distinctly. And the AI they used, the company uses this, they generated this AI video to prove they wanted to prove this guy murdered their CEO. And then they're like, the forensic people can't figure out if it's AI or real. And they're just like, because the whole episode is, I know what I saw, and it's right in front of your eyes. Like, you see the video, you can't, and they can't really make out if it's the video was made or if it's real. But that's what was used to prosecute that guy.
Interesting. So, Andy, if I give Law and Order a shot, what is the best one to watch to hook me? The
I
start?
know you don't like old shit, so I would just start from season 22 and forward.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's on Peacock, I think. I'm pretty sure it's NBC, so they have all the episodes on there too, I think. So I would start with Peacock and see like the first couple episodes of season 22.
Hmm. Okay. Well, maybe I'll give it a shot if I'm that bored. But yeah, sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It holds up still to this day. And let us know what you guys think at ffnquestions@gmail.com. But that's all we got for this. Let's go into our article of the week.
Oh man, do you think I'm gonna get copyright struck, man? Should I stop?
Maybe I'm gonna have to edit that out. But
Oh dang.
the article of the week is it was kind of interesting. I was watching this game. We're here in Chicagoland. The Bears played the Washington Commanders on Monday Night Football, and I don't know. Did you watch the game, the complete game then?
Yeah, yeah, I watched this one.
So the Bears ultimately won. Let's say Caleb Williams was okay, but the news of the game was how Troy Aikman was kind of, to me, I think he was hypercritical of Caleb Williams. But then stuff came out later that you could be like, oh, okay. So and then the article goes into is from Sports Illustrated. Ulterior motive for Tony Aikman criticism of Caleb Williams suggested. The Bears QB trolled on social media after the Bears felt the excessive criticism of Monday Night announcer, and it turns out to be there could have been more of a reason for it all. Caleb Williams and Troy Aikman feud festers on long after the Bears beat Commanders on part two with the Monday Night broadcaster called Luck. Aikman's criticism of Williams throws his decision making the ABC ESPN telecast on Monday Night Football had Bears fans on social media blasting him, and also Williams himself joined in the dog pile. He said Caleb Williams said that he and Troy Aikman didn't have their usual production meeting before Monday Night Football. Williams was at Hallis Hall late that evening, and by the time he finished, he called Aikman and he didn't answer. So the two never ended up connecting. Usually, they have the announcer or analyst sounds like they have a meeting with the quarterback, and then and then for me, I think that was one of the reasons why he was like real, like being a jerk almost. So I don't know. And then if you heard the broadcast, he called him with the way he was talking about Williams and Jaden and for the Commanders, like everything he breathed or something. Like this guy just breathes amazing. To me, it was just like super positive and called them like just very aloof and a leader. And like he threw an interception, and he went to sit on the bench, and he was just like laughing about it. And he was just like, "Well, yeah, he's so laid back. He knows he's gonna get another shot of making it right, and like all this goofy stuff." Imagine if Caleb Williams was laughing after that, they would be just blasting him on the national media. Here, Monday night's game, Aikman criticized Williams for not putting the ball in the right place to catch and one play and to complete drop. And during the Monday, criticized Williams for not putting the ball in the right place for Zacharias to catch and run in one play. And a complete drop in the open field, Zacharias, there was criticism of Williams' ball placement again, although wide open. He had only one linebacker um, on him. And then there was the Grande Swift 50-yard TD catch. Williams admitted he fouled up the play but made it work. And then Aikman just luck on Chicago's part. Yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, well, what's all that about? That's when I said, like, what is going on? And then Aikman said on Brisker's interception of Jaden Daniels, it wasn't so much intended to be a pick, but it turned into that just based on how it was defended. So he's like, oh, he didn't just throw it in there. He's just like, oh, the guy was just there. And it goes on and on. And I think this is the first time where I've heard analysts can be critical, but to me, I right away I'm like, what is going on? Like, there's something else that we don't know about. And then when the news broke that he missed that production meeting, which I think on Williams, that is a fuck up. He should have made time for that. It's part of the game. That's part of being a professional. Uh, I feel like he should have done it, but he reached out, and Aikman was just like, "Fuck you." It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're right. I think Troy Aikman was maybe a little hurt or, that he didn't put time aside. And I do know that from watching some of those like Hard Knocks or some of those football behind the scenes shows, it is a big part, especially for like Monday night, Thursday night games, like these big primetime games, Sunday night game, where the broadcast team makes themselves available for the key players of the teams so they can interview them, just have little tidbits so they can throw out during the broadcast and be like, yeah, Caleb has some family in the crowd, this is his hometown and blah, 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 just like some nuggets of personal stuff of the players. So for him not to make time for Troy, I could see how Troy was a little hurt. Now, I've heard tons of broadcasts where it goes in your favor, where Caleb is stinking it up. Maybe not Caleb, but let's say a player. But Caleb definitely, I think in this Redskins, I think he was stinking it up. I think the Bears, just off the top, I think the Bears won ugly this game.
Yeah,
I'm glad they won it, but I think they won it ugly. And it was definitely not the offense reason why they won. I think the defense and the safety, special teams really pulled this game together. Offense did just enough. They didn't lose the game, but they just barely enough. So, anyways, I think Caleb played half decent to maybe slightly poor. And so I think it was totally rightful for Troy Aikman to grill him. I thought the exact same thing. When I saw a couple of those passes sail his receivers, I'm like, what is going on? And then when I saw a couple passes not hit our players in stride, I thought the same thing. I'm like, why isn't he hitting these guys in stride? So he's either like airballing it or he's throwing passes behind guys. And it's like the extreme of both sides. It's like, can't you hit the thing in stride? There was like two or three passes where the Redskin receiver, which is a year younger than Caleb, so he doesn't have the experience that Caleb has because he's a year younger, but still, he was throwing stuff in the breadbasket of these players where he would just flip it up there and guys would just catch it. It would just be like right in the basket, right between the numbers. And it was like perfect passes. And I'm like, why can't our guy do that? So I think it's totally rightful for Troy Aikman to grill him. But what I was going to at the start is I've heard plenty of broadcasts where sometimes it's pro your team and sometimes it's against your team, no matter how they're playing. There's a lot of people that don't like Joe Buck because they think he hates the Cubs because every time he broadcasts for the Cubs, he's always shitting on them, which I kind of like because I don't like the Cubs either.
as you
But
should. Yeah. Well, his dad was the broadcast guy for the St. Louis for like decades, so that's
oh,
what
is that what
he
it
was
is?
coming. Yeah, his dad was like
Ah,
a famous announcer. Yeah.
oh, so maybe that makes sense. But to me, I
Hmm.
always liked it. I like Joe Buck as an announcer, and I like Troy Aikman as well. I'm kind of sad to see him leave Fox Sports because I really liked watching him calling Bears games more frequently and just calling NFC games. I really liked him on Fox, and now that he's left, it kind of sucks. But yeah, I think Troy Aikman's a great broadcaster. I think he brings a lot of insight, and Joe Buck as well. So I like them as a duo. I kind of like their chemistry. I like everything that he typically does. I like it. So I think stuff like this is normal, man. Sometimes you're going to get your quarterback praised when he's stinking it up, and sometimes you're going to get your quarterback made seem like a god, even though he's just barely putting it together. So
So
I don't know. That's my feeling.
I'm kind of with you, Danny, but this is where my conspiracy antennas go up. Is on
Really?
next day,
Okay.
ESPN has all those analyst shows like Get Up, First Thing, and like with Stephen A. Smith, and all
Right.
of those had comments about the criticism on social media. They all had something to say about what how Troy's criticism was like justified. So yeah, that's when I'm like, there's something to this. Like they're defending Troy Aikman, no matter what. And to me, that was just like, okay. And I
Well,
even think some
in
of
your
the Fox Sports ones, they had something too.
opinion, how did Caleb play against the Washington?
No, it wasn't his best game. No, I'll give you that. I'm not saying you can't be critical, but he was even when he did something right, he was kind of a he was just like, oh, that shit's easy. That's like he should be like doing that with his eyes. Like I remember watching it, and I'm just like, man, what? He's just like being like negative as fuck, dude. And then like when he was talking about Daniels, it was just like this guy's a leader, and this guy's like amazing, and he's a great kid, and he led his team to the NC and blah blah blah. And I'm just like,
And he makes time for people to get
yeah, and
anal
that's all he had to
have
say. And people, there
interviews and
was
shit.
memes like, "Oh, Caleb is breathing." I'm like, man, fuck that guy. He's fucking not breathing right. Like, it was just like crazy, dude. And I'm just like, and then that's when I said, it's just not. It's not just me. There's other people that are like thinking the same shit. Like, it's just like that's part of the job. Like last night, I was watching USC versus Notre Dame. They didn't have the normal crew because it was a primetime game for NBC. They had the Big Ten crew, Blackledge and Eagle. And Blackledge, if I haven't heard him in a while, but against Notre Dame, but I'm like, this guy doesn't like Notre Dame. And then last night in the broadcast, there was a lot of fucking ticky tack penalties against Notre Dame. And this guy was just like, yeah, that's a penalty. And like every fucking thing. And it was just like, oh, they're reviewing this. I don't know why they're reviewing this. It's obviously it's a penalty. Like he was just like, damn, bro, like let the fucking refs at least do their job. He doesn't say like, oh, I don't think this is gonna be a no. He was like making like extra comments like, obviously this is a penalty. I don't know why they're taking so long. It just doesn't make sense. And I'm just like, what's all that about? You know, usually when you watch so much football or so many sports and you have announcers have like you got to be somewhat like neutral right then, like, oh yeah,
Right.
I believe this, and you just say your sentence or two. You don't add extra comments. That's what was going on here. It was just like a lot of it was just like they're throwing a lot of as you say in Spanish, crema en el taco is like they're adding a lot of fucking shit to it to prove their point.
Hell yeah, man. I like me some crema and some taco, man. Get these guys right on them. To me, they're getting paid millions of dollars to win me games, man. I want the Bears to win every game. And if it takes Troy Aikman shitting on Caleb and calling him a loser, hey, man, right on him.
God damn, bro. Just because he paints his nails, it's okay. We don't judge, man. But
But
again, that's not the. I think there's other announcers who have been critical. I think Tom Brady's kind of on that path. When you listen to some of his games, he's been kind of super critical to certain players. But you know who's not like that? And like he's a pretty good damn analyst is Tony Romo.
I
If you
love
look at
Tony
all the
Romo.
A teams
Yeah.
and all the broadcast, yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, he's been critical, but it's constructive, and he just you don't get that feeling like he's just being a dick.
Yeah, no, I love me some Tony Romo. I think he's a great analyst, gives you a lot of insight. And I think Tom Brady also gives you a ton of insight. He gives you a lot of coverage read insights that I never knew
Mm-hmm.
about. But you're right. He is very super critical, especially for the quarterback position. I mean, he was an elite quarterback, so he's seen it through the eyes of his perfectionist quarterback views. So wants everybody to measure up to that eliteness. And when he doesn't see it, of course, he's going to be analytical about it. And I agree with you. I think sometimes it comes off a little harsh, but I like it, man. But I see your point at the same time. I kind of like it. Um, I don't mind it as long as it's kind of has a nugget of truth in it. And in the Washington game, I think it was totally valid because Caleb was not playing his best game. The 20 some points that everybody keeps touting that the Bears are the only team to score 21 plus points in every game. Well, it ain't because of Caleb that we hold that
Damn.
record. So
I
yeah,
think it is because of Caleb. The
no,
defense ain't scoring.
Kyle Orton could give you that stat as well.
Damn,
If
bro.
you put him in there, Kyle Orton will do that all day, all night.
Justin Fields didn't do it.
Uh,
Trubisky, which I like, didn't do it. Jay Cutler,
uh,
and I love Jay Cutler.
yeah, to
And
me, it's
those Cutler and Trubisky had pretty good defenses, and they put up points.
right. Caleb is an all right quarterback. To me, I didn't like the draft to begin with.
Damn,
I thought Justin Fields was the better player.
I thought too, but he's a bum.
Although he's not playing good at all in
Negative
with the
five passing
Jets.
yards. I don't even know how that's
Yeah,
or 10. I don't even know how the hell that's possible.
right. That to me, when I saw that stat, I'm like, holy shit. And I tried, I'm not even a Jets fan, but I try to watch Jets games. Like if the Bears aren't playing and I see the Jets are playing, I'll try to watch the game just because I want to watch Justin Field. And I just like, man, I want him to succeed so bad because I saw him as a better quarterback, but he is really stinking it up. And I don't think necessarily it's his team. I think he is kind of struggling. I'm not sure if it just got to him where his time is just past. Like he's just the best he's gonna be is like a
Like he
Joe.
does, he's not comprehending what the league is.
Right,
And in college, he was accurate and everything. In the game, in the NFL is so fast, and I don't
right,
think not that he can't process it. And I think Caleb is getting a little better, and they're having he doesn't know anticipate when to throw. You got to be like one step ahead, and when you make the throws, and Caleb kind of waits, and Justin Field was kind of the same way. He waited for the guy to get open. When you're like, you throw it with him, you anticipate him getting open, and you see Williams now. He definitely gets the ball out faster
right,
compared to
right.
the year before. And Justin, when that would happen, he would just hold on. If it wasn't there, he'd just take off running. And you saw some incredible runs, but you got to throw in this league, and that was his problem. And he's not that he's regressed. I think he's having issues with that, and I think the Jets is his final thing. I don't even think he's going to be a career backup like Trubisky. Like he's a career backup, and he's getting commercials now. So think about that.
You don't think he's gonna be like a Joe Flacco one day and just
Nah,
kind of hop
dude,
around teams?
Flacco won a Super Bowl.
Right. No,
I
and
think
Flacco's a great
Trubisky,
quarterback. Yeah.
he had a shot in Pittsburgh after he left the Bills his first time, and he had a couple of good games, but then he did what Trubisky does, right? He was inaccurate and stuff like that. That was his problem. He I think he needs a really I think if he goes to like Minnesota with that coach up there, that quarterback whisperer, I think it would really help him because every quarterback that goes to that guy and they leave their starters and other teams. Like hell, the Indianapolis quarterback went there. Jones, now look at him in Indianapolis. He's pretty good. Sam Darnold was there. He was there. Now he's a starting quarterback at Seahawks. And or you go to the team in with the 49ers, they're back up over there. Uh, that coach too has really done good to quarterbacks. So I don't know, man. It's just like I think Trubisky might have a shot, but I don't know. Fields, I just don't see it. Like for whatever reason, he's struggling. So
Yeah, for
it is
sure.
what
I
it
mean,
is.
when Trubisky got replaced, I like Trubisky as well, but I never thought he was like an elite quarterback. I just thought he was serviceable. Um, but yeah, Justin Fields, I thought he was like a career quarterback for the Bears, but it's not turning out that way for him. And I feel bad because I think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, and I
And
don't
yeah,
remember
it's
them being critical of him. The analyst.
yeah, not as much. But Caleb, again, I think he's a good quarterback. He has a lot of potential, but I don't know. He's got to show me more. I don't know what he's gonna do. So we'll have to see. But guys, I think that's about all we have for today. A la madre. But
There's a
yes,
lot of
thank you.
editing in this motherfucker.
Uh, that's all the time we have for today, guys. I'd like to thank you all for listening. Remember to follow Freeform Network on Facebook and X at Freeform Network. Send in those questions and suggestions at ffnquestions@gmail.com. Visit that webpage, man, freeformnetwork.podbean.com. There, you're going to see all of our links, all of our good stuff for you to see all these old episodes. You could see where Andy called wins, where the Bears got losses, and you get to laugh along with me because I always love laughing at Andy when he's wrong on football.
Wait,
But
do what?
but this conversation was pretty good, and I think you were spot on. But yeah, send in your feedback and questions when you're questioning Andy to ffnquestions@gmail.com. Hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it, and it really helps us out tremendously. For Freeform Radio, we got Andy.
So again, Andy, I want to thank you for listening. And for the record, I'm killing it in my Jersey Mike's confidence pool. I got
Nice.
racked up a ton of free subs already.
Nice, man. I'll bring some to work. I appreciate that. I'm Daniel. I'd like to thank you all for listening. Hopefully, Noel gets back from being under the weather and jumps back on our next recording. But for all of us here at Freeform Radio, thank you so much for listening.
That was cool, Dad.